Hello, football family. Welcome into Huddle It Up Films. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And, it wouldn't be a Thanksgiving episode without family of my own. So, Mr. Paulianis decided to join us. New haircut that I was making fun of before the show. I will not. I think it looks great, Alec. That's all I'm going to say. I think it looks beautiful. It doesn't remind me of anything. But
It's
how are
looking.
you doing tonight?
It's not looking the best right now. I don't know why. But thanks, man. Happy to be on. I joked with you last show that I could have joined, but you weren't answering my calls, and then you felt guilty, and then you said, "Okay, I'll have you on." So happy to be back. Excited to talk about this game. First time all season we've had a winning record and had a show, right? So how about that?
All it took was the schedule to come back on. So, yeah, man, these 6-5 Ravens, starting 1-5, winning 5 in a row. We all know this. The fashion in which they've won, come in all shapes and sizes. And man, this is the stretch. Like we could not have imagined the season would have went like this. But this was the stretch, Alec, when we were looking before the season that we knew this things was going to get real. The Bengals at home, Thanksgiving, tomorrow night at the bank. It's going to be electric. Then we host the Steelers. Then we go to Cincinnati. We knew before the season began, or we figured that those three games would be most crucial.
We did, and I still for the life of me don't understand why schedule makers think it's acceptable to play the same team in 3 weeks. Even with the Thursday additional gap, it's just so goofy to me that they're so condensed. But it adds to the drama for sure. All these divisional games, particularly against the teams we expect to be the most competitive of the bunch. There's no easy game here on out, right? Patriots and Packers are no joke. I think the Bengals are going to have more life than a 3-8 team should. And now it's time for the Ravens to execute, right? They're one game above 500. They've got everything they want in front of them. And if they just, do their job, want to know mentality, then they'll be hosting a playoff game.
That's the goal. That was the goal from the start. Win this North. So let's check. I see everybody in here. Let's just give some shout outs real quick. TY, my guy, birthday last week, got the birthday win. Look at the 36-year-old TY in the house. It is good to see you. It's good to see you. Of course, the lovely Chris. Isn't she lovely? I know that song. Hey, TY, saying hey to everybody. And then Jason Zarotniak. I didn't notice this, but he has been a longtime Twitter follower, and his handle is great. It's I saw a rotten yak. So Mr. Zarotniak, that's, I guess, how he tells people to pronounce his name. Good evening, Jason, Chris, and the rest of the Huddle It Up family. I'll be watching, listening, but otherwise engaged, so I won't be chatting. Hope everyone has a fantastic holiday tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. I guess Mr. Zarotniak's probably doing some cooking, Alec.
Yeah, I started something before hopping on, so I get it.
Yeah, man. I'm going to try to be the perfect husband tonight because I'm staying out of the way. Wifey is already stressed and, up to her elbows and all kinds of stuff. But we got Justin. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Jason. I ready Red Ravens beatdown on Burrow and Chase tomorrow. Yeah, I'm ready for a beatdown on those guys too. The Ravens have swept them. Both of those games last year was close. And the funny thing is, Alec, looking at the schedule before the season, and I'm like, okay, where are the wins and losses? I'm like, you know what? These Cincinnati games have been so close. We'll see Lamar's record 10-1 against the Bengals. I'm like, we're probably going to lose one of these games to the Bengals. It just feels like we're due. But now at this point, looking at the schedule, we really can't afford to. We need to sweep these guys again.
We do. You can't really lose games. Losing games is for suckers. So I think the big thing too is, I don't know about you, Jason. I thought this defense would be a little bit better this year. I don't know why. I just assumed the worst defense in the league won't be the worst 2 years in a row, but it appears that they outdid themselves and they're even worse this year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of incredible, frankly. I know they spent a first round pick on the defense that hasn't, prospered at all. I don't remember their second or third round picks, but yeah.
But still, they were so bad last year, and this year they're historically worse, to your point.
Yeah, they can't even tread water. I was thinking to myself earlier today, if I were the Bengals, like, how would I fix my defense? And I just like don't know the path to fixing their defense. Like, you can't spend enough in free agency. You can't you can't draft well enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's a really tough nut to crack.
The Linda J in here. Hi, Jason. Hi, all. Love you, Linda. Grayson. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, young man. Good to see you in here. Laid back, Big Al. What's up, football family? What's up? And hey, channel favorite, Mr. James. Hello, Flock. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, Mr. James. So, Alec, let's get into it. The divisional details. We got them up there right now. Yeah, these three home games, we got one out of the way. Now we got three divisional games in a row, 3 out of 4 at home, and then close the season with 2 in a row. And as you said, the Bengals team, because it's a divisional game and Burrow's back, you expect them to be better than a 3-8 team. But man, that defense, it looks pretty crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, dude, I don't really understand it. And then you got the Steelers playing the Bills, so this is a real opportunity to have some separation in the division. When we go to play them next week, we're already up a game, hoping that we win and they lose. So that would be really beautiful because then you beat the Steelers, you're up 2 games, and then it becomes a huge, like, Herculean task for them to pass you.
Exactly. So yeah, counting on those Bills who don't look great. Nobody really looks great, man. So here's my biggest question right now as the season's unfolding, Alec. Where did you go, my friend? There we go.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Season's biggest question for me is how healthy can Lamar get? So I'm interested to see if the family has any thoughts on this. I kind of feel like, tweeted out the other day, we have a better chance of figuring out enter your greatest conspiracy theory here now than we do what's actually heard on Lamar. Like, there's no way. I don't trust the Ravens with injury reports in the first place. But then considering it's Lamar Jackson, the franchise, like, who knows what's going on? Maybe he does have multiple injuries. Maybe it was the hamstring and then the knee and then the ankle and now the toe or whatever the order was. But maybe he just, like, I don't know, has a bad calf or something, or, something that we don't know about. So I'm not confident that he can get close to 100% as the season goes along, because it's hard to get healthy as you play. The biggest blessing in disguise, I think, is this 10-day break coming up after tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be huge. I think the other thing that's kind of difficult, and I don't know if anyone in the chat would have a better idea than I do, but they don't like specify which leg, and if it's the same leg that is having all these issues, I've had knee issues before, and I'm not an athlete, but like it can be like spurred by your hamstring, right? And then like all these muscle groups work together is what I'm getting at. So
right.
It's so hard if one of them's tweaked to not then tweak another, and then have this cascading effect of injuries. Like, I'm just a mere mortal, right? Not a super athlete, and like experience these things. I think I can only imagine when you're at the level of an athlete, even with like, so much strength and built up around all those muscles and things of that nature, it's still like you're just so anything getting out of line will just cause issues at a higher scale. So it is challenging. I think, unfortunately, this mini bye to me is a lot of the season. Like, I think if Lamar's going to get healthy, a lot of it's going to happen during this mini bye. If the offensive line is going to change, a lot of it's going to happen during this mini bye. Like, there's so much on this mini bye. And I think afterwards, it's like, that's it. That's the team until the playoffs. Assuming they take care of business and get there. I just don't know at this point if there's any other break that to see any major changes. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And last word on this, I kind of feel like it's his right. I feel like it's his right leg, hamstring, foot, because I was watching, when I was watching the tape, that ball in the end zone to Mark Andrews that he dropped, and there was a sideline throw from the opposite hash, the one that Zay dropped. So it's 2 drops, if you guys remember those, you might, where the ball just looked like it took a little bit longer to get there. Maybe it's because he can't step into the throws because he did have linemen bearing down on him. So maybe it was like a lack of trust of the offensive line. But I wonder if he can plan on that right foot fire is kind of what I'm getting at there. But yeah, if you notice the drops, if you guys go back and watch the game, watch the tape, whatever, the throw in the end zone to Andrews, and then before that, I think it was like earlier in the game, was the sideline through to Zay Flowers that he couldn't bring in. And it just, it just didn't have the normal Lamar zip that I'm used to on those throws. But Lamar also made some great throws in that game that I think people just wrote this off. And of course, the talk this week is, oh, Lamar, but hasn't been good, hasn't been good. But he made a couple of really nice throws. One to D Hop,
Mm-hmm.
the one to Andrews was right on the money. Like there were some good throws in that game too, Alex.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So hey, one of the players of the game, Jordan Stout. The punts are booming and business is booming for Jordan Stout. Man, his punts went down and wrote him up. He had a 74-yard punt with only an 8-yard return. Just amazing there. So 69-yard net or 66-yard net on that one. And then he kicked a 67-yard punt that went out of bounds. Just a crazy punt. He also had punts of 56 and 49 to pin the Jets back. So before the season, Alec, I'm like, well, Jordan Stout, he hasn't been playing even to replacement level. Probably just draft another punter. And now within 3 months, it's gone from that. Will he be out of the league? And, after this year to somebody's paying him, probably could it be us? Maybe not us. We got a ton of free agents after this year, but, credit to Jordan Stout.
I'm celebrating by drinking a stout, oatmeal stout, right there. No, this guy, man, we had conversations in private. I don't do a show anymore, so the only time people hear from me is when I'm on your show, essentially. And we were talking in private about the Stout situation, and we're like, well, they're probably going to end up having to get another punter because he hasn't been good enough to re-sign him. His career might be done, because right. I don't know who's going to sign him. Then he goes out there and he starts punting with confidence, and it's awesome. I mean, we had seen glimpses of his ability to pin people back, but what really struck me is that conversation, I guess, in the locker room afterwards, where he was saying to people, like, I have the confidence to kick it like that because I know this punt coverage is going to take care of business. And people always talk about, you don't want to outkick your coverage. So I think we have to talk about that too and applaud that. But, man, it was funny, dude. That last punt where he pinned him at the 5-yard line. It's like, I wish there was a way to live bet that kind of thing. Because I was talking to my buddies when I was there. I was like, dude, he's going to go out there. He's going to slam this thing. And it's going to go out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Because like he was he had that swagger. You knew like he was going to get after it. You thought he was going to take another shot. And it was beautiful too. The way it was coming in like a missile. Landed at the 10-yard line, 7-yard line. And just like kind of rolled directly to the sideline. I mean, absolutely just stunner kick. And I really enjoyed him basking in the glory of his kicks. Because, I mean, like, I also appreciated Draymond's quote because I felt it too. Normally when you're punting, you feel a little defeated. You're like, a punt. Yeah. But after that punt, the team was hyped. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to hype up your team after a punt, but that was one of them. And,
well, I mean, I hadn't felt it in some time because, Sam Cook, for all the different style punts he had, I mean, he was older, so he didn't have that young leg that Stout had, even though, supposedly, Sam Cook could squat 500 pounds and all this crazy stuff. But it had been a while since I've been hyped for a punt, for real.
Yeah. He smacked it, dude. I remember. I mean, that was one of the coolest things to see live too, because like, you see it off his, like, because you kind of lose it on the broadcast view, right? You see it off his foot, and you're like, holy crap, like that thing is going, And it was they were a little bit flatter punts too, right? Like you could tell he was going for the distance, so to speak. They weren't as much hang time, maybe. I didn't like stopwatch it, but it felt as though that was the case. But hey, man, shout out to the coverage team. Shout out to like TJ Tampa and Guru. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we have this. And frankly, like, as much as I like to poo-poo special teams because our head coach is all about, special teams, there's definitely a part, they play a part in this game. And I appreciate the fact that they're actually playing up to that potential. I feel like for like a year and a half now, the special teams unit's been a little subpar. Right. And now, like, coverage looks good. Kickers are kicking well. The whole operation is top notch, and when you're trying to win sloppy games, like that's one way to win the margins.
So, hey, I saw this tweet from our guy Yuri, and Yuri, of course, knows what he's doing, and I thought this was a very very telling. I'm gonna have to take the little header off there. So with that, the King needs space. More Keaton ahead. Derrick Henry has been contacted behind the line of scrimmage on over 50% of his carries this season, which is the 5th highest rate of the NFL. And it goes on to say basically that Derrick Henry has done really well after contact. Obviously, he's got the rushing yards and the touchdowns, but getting hit behind the line of scrimmage, not at, behind the line of scrimmage on 50.8% of his rushes. Alec, a lot for me to take away on this. First of all, when Derrick Henry's in the game, the defense is hell-bent on shooting gaps and trying to get him in the backfield, not letting him get downhill. And then, the just lack of quickness from, two of the players at guard on our line, allowing that penetration to be pure. I saw Faalele got graded well or had a better game supposedly, and he frustrated me as much in this game as there were in any other. I mean, blocking a nose tackle and not allowing a pressure against the nose tackle, pardon me, it's just not like extra impressive. You know what I mean? And that's what he was facing most of the game. So yeah, of course his pass blocking grades look better, but man, Derrick Henry, and this goes back to maybe Keaton needs more touches because you have a harder time attacking Keaton like that, Alec, because he can make you miss and make you pay for shooting gaps and not staying disciplined.
The analogy I made, I just keep repeating myself because I feel like it's a good one. And let me know what you think about it, is with our current offensive line situation, it's like running through quicksand. And the only guy fast enough to not get sunk in the quicksand is Keaton Mitchell. And kind of going back to what you were saying, like if you're getting hit in the backfield, you're not getting any space to get ahead of steam or to get any momentum. At least he's able to dodge well. He's able to get thin and skinny. You're able to see him redirect himself. He has great vision. These are the things that I think are really important for where the team's at. And it pains me to say this. I'm not excited, but frankly, if Keaton Mitchell got 100%, not 100%, but a majority of the snaps, we split the rush share up where he was getting 50 and Henry was getting 30, that might actually be better for the offense. I don't think they'll do that, obviously, but I think that's where we're at. And it's no disrespect to Henry. It's just it's a style thing, right? This offensive line is garbage. So yeah, that's kind of the issue.
Yeah, the run blocking is just, we're getting pushed back on the edges and we're getting penetrated on in the middle. It's just not a good look. Linderbaum was all over the place. Nothing is right, but we'll have bold predictions at the end of the show. I have a Keaton bold prediction at the end of the show. But yeah, man, with this Derrick Henry, I mean, no wonder he was frustrated. And you saw, I've never seen a press conference so depressing from a guy that just scored 2 touchdowns, as you saw from Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and won the game.
Won the game, right. If I had enough more room for a slide, I was going to take a picture of Derrick Henry's face because he was not in the mood for questions. He knows we can be better than this. We'll see if they can get on track against the Bengals defense, who sneak a peek, Alec. Woof, bro. All red. All red in their category.
You said that to me earlier, and I didn't even grasp how much red it was until it was on the screen like that, dude.
It's all red.
It's incredible.
So, Alec, I'm kind of interested to hear your opinion on this. I wasn't going to bring this up until I knew that you were going to be on. But Lamar is 10-1 against the Bengals, and someone like me does not like that. I don't like it. I almost didn't want to include it in the show because, like baseball, it's like you do and that kind of thing. When you see this stat, are you like, oh, hell yeah, bro, I'm going to rub this. This is great. We're going to handle him tomorrow too, or does it make you just a little bit nervous that it's this good, bro?
Yeah, I don't really care. I think to me, 10-1 versus the Bengals, it has nothing to do with the quality of the team. It has everything to do with how the Ravens prepare for the Bengals. That one loss, I remember it. It was that absolutely pathetic destruction game where it was Chase had. I mean, there's a lot of games that Chase has 200 plus yards against us, or in the neighborhood. But it was Marlon was getting burnt. They tried to have a comeback late, if I recall correctly, and all those things. But they just got absolutely torched. And but they rally against this team. They almost lost last year, and they had a crazy sequence of events to score a bunch of points and come back, and then had that long field goal by Tucker. And yeah, I mean, it was just it was really something. But I don't really worry about it. This is a different team.
Every year is different.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me, but I get why you would feel that way. Frankly, maybe it's also just because it's the Bengals. I feel like it's the Steelers that kind of like it's just like that is where I have the institutional damage of like they're always able to make these games pesky. Like I always am worried about those games, but the Bengals like I feel they're more honorable games. Like the Steelers win in dishonorable ways. At least at least the Bengals win by like scoring points, like doing cool things. you know.
Yeah, the Steelers do win in dishonorable ways. Never you. I mean, I was going to laugh, but you did all the laughing at your own joke. Well, that's dishonorable in itself. But yeah, man, they do win in dishonorable ways. The Mike Tomlin, what do they call it, the voodoo magic or something, man. Tomlin just gets them ready to play all the time. Last point before we get into this matchup. Don't look now, Alec. Pass rush is winning on its own.
How about that?
And man, I love it too because Draymond has helped, but
Yeah.
I think also the coaches have figured out something. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this on TV, but I'm seeing it on tape. Is that they are allowing their edge rushers to just rush.
Yeah.
So early in the year, it's like you got Adafia Way, not a bull rusher. You got Kyle Van Noy, not a bull rusher. He uses plenty of moves. You got Mike Green. He's undersized. He's got all these moves. Ajabo, not a power guy. And you're asking all these guys to just bull rush and contain rush.
Yeah.
It's just a total mismatch. It's just a total mismatch. So what they're doing now is they're letting their guys rush, and it seems like Trenton Simpson or Teddy or whoever they have is kind of like a pseudo spy on the quarterback. Now, maybe he is playing his normal zone, but I think it's either a direct spy or a heightened focus on as soon as that quarterback moves out the pocket, that linebacker closes on the quarterback. So they are allowing their guys to rush. Cut up on the channel this week. He's doing well. I think he's got over 1,000 views of Mike Green. And you can see him use the spin moves, use the little skip move, all the moves in his bag, the cross chop. He was breaking them out. We've seen Kyle Van Noy win with inside counters, and we weren't doing that early in the season. Every time Harbaugh got up there, well, it was contain rush talk. Well, we're containing them. Well, we let them get out a couple of times. It was like, John, we're not getting sacks. We need to get sacks. We need to get pressure on the quarterback. Yeah. So don't look now, Alec, but this pass rush, like the guys are winning their one-on-ones, which is huge without Matabike.
Yeah, a lot of guys are stepping up, but I want to highlight the comments from Jeremiah. At first, I think they were too afraid of scrambling, and you consider the opponents, right? You consider Bills, you consider Chiefs. You can kind of understand that. But also, I think it has a lot to do with the trust in Buchanan and Rowe and how they've grown together to be able to try to hopefully scoop them up if they start to get outside the pocket, contain them at the second level there. So, yeah, dude, I think it's a big net win that we're seeing the pass rush win. And also, like, they're starting to finally get the snaps right, with Draymond there. He's been such a huge addition. Like, just he's a baller. I want him back. I would say I would take him over Van Noy. I'm curious your thoughts there. But if you can only sign one, yeah, I think he has that versatility.
Of course, also man. I Van Noy's, I feel like year to year at this point anyway.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is, I'm wondering if Robinson can come back and be anything. Him and Ardarius are, I think, like secret weapons. Like if they're able to contribute at all to this defense, it could really take them even to another level just because of the rotational play. And things of that nature. But yeah, anyways, I think they are winning. Mike Green's looking better and better. That's awesome. And I'm optimistic, man. I'm optimistic that this defense is going to be able to create conditions for the offense to figure it out. I think, unfortunately, like maybe we won't have the most reliable offense this year because of the offensive line. I think if they're able to execute better in the red zone, and everything else stays equal, that they'll actually probably be fine offensively. They'll put up 30s and things of that nature, and it really doesn't matter, I guess, quite how it happens as long as you're scoring those points, and then the defense is able to hold down the opponent. So we'll see. But this seems like so frustrating in some ways, where I feel like they're kind of close to maybe being a serious team, but there's a few incredibly hard to fathom things to improve.
Hey, I'm all in. I'm all in on the defense, man. I really am. Yeah. And I see Ashley made a point, and guys are backing her up in there. Start fast, keep foots on necks. Like that's a big key for me tomorrow. And it would be anyway. But when night game, bank, Thanksgiving, imagine the Bengals, we defer to the Bengals. We're able to get a stop and then come down and score. Bengals get the ball back. Imagine what the bank will be like. You know what I mean? With a chance to stop them for the second time. We already have the lead. And with Burrow coming back from an injury, he's probably, not the coaches are probably going to protect him against himself. I see Justin saying the pass rush will be the reason we win this game tomorrow. But to start fast tomorrow night and get that Thursday night crowd on your side, I think would be huge. And the pass rush, we'll have more opportunity to eat. To bring it back to our point, you get to start fast, it allows the pass rush to get home. More opportunities.
Yeah, dude. The Jets game, man, was such a pain in the butt with this team just poo-pooing for 30 minutes and gave the crowd nothing to cheer about. They were out of it. And then hopefully, it's going to be electric atmosphere, the lights, the fireworks, the alternative helmets, the things of that nature. So people will already have a disposition to want to be hyped. But then you have to keep them there, right? Like the first drive will be loud, maybe the second drive, whatever. But you have to keep it, and I think that will really cascade. Those games where it kind of avalanches, the snowball effect of the crowd's into it, the team has that swagger and that mojo, and you get them in disadvantaged situations where they're down, they feel like they need to pass the ball, defense take you in. It's one of those things that can really avalanche. So I'm hoping that we do start fast for once.
We need to.
Yeah.
And you know what, Chris, with the O-line, I think that we can't get lulled into thinking that they're good if they have a good game against the Jets and have a good game or a better game against the Bengals. It's still an issue. And Alex said something that you kind of said earlier, and I didn't address it. But you're saying that you don't expect anything to change tomorrow. If at all, that 10-day period in between this game and the Steelers game is when they would change. But then you'll have people saying, well, they don't want to change it before the biggest game of the year. Just make a move, bro. I guarantee you. And people have been pushed back well, how do you know? Well, of course I don't know. But I would bet a good sum of money that Emory Jones can go in there and run block better than Daniel Faalele right now. And run block better than Voorhees right now, who's getting knocked back. Looks like slow motion. I saw him pull. He was pulling on somebody and got knocked backwards because he just didn't see the guy coming. Just terrible play by the guards. No matter what the grades say, there are run plays we can't run. The run blocking is awful from the guards, and it's so funny because the people who watch the film can tell you that, and the people with a stopwatch grading pressures at this point of the timer and all that will tell you that they're not bad. They're not. But I'm telling you, we cannot run certain run plays. You saw Derrick Henry getting hit 50%, more than 50% behind the line of scrimmage. So I can't stand. Part of me can't stand coming on and ranting every week, but I almost can't help it, bro. It's just my honest thoughts.
You gotta be honest. You gotta be honorable. So it's all good. It's all good. And I think you're right. I think it's just it's just one of those weird things where I understand, I appreciate the fact that pass blocking is more important. I think everyone kind of can agree on that. But if the run blocking is that bad, it eats into their viability, frankly. Because if it kind of it's one of those weird things. If you're pass blocking, but if you're behind the stick, they're going to be able to get at you. You're passing, you're disadvantaged at it. I don't know. It's not the balance I want out of my offensive line.
Yeah, you're breaking up, but you're right. It's not the balance. Yes, like you said, pass blocking is more important, but it's much easier to convert 3rd and 5 than it is 3rd and 8, and you don't have to pass block for as long when it's 3rd and 5 as opposed to 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
So it all works together like that. And yeah, Ty, that's the play I'm talking about. Voorhees was pulling and didn't see the guy he was supposed to block, but the guy he was supposed to block knew he was the guy that Voorhees was supposed to block. So he just knocked Voorhees, who's looking upfield. Where's the guy I'm supposed to block? Oh, there it was. That's pretty much what happened on a pull. bro. Like it's ridiculous, man. So we can't run power. We outside zone. We had success for one game on it. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, but yeah, Alec, talk again. Let's see if you're breaking up, bro.
Dude, you got to put Alex's comment up. Hilarious. That Harbaugh James, talking negatively about his offensive line. But coming in here, coming my Comcast line.
Yeah, the Secret Service. It's probably Chad. Big bad Chad, bro.
Yeah, Chad Steele's outside.
Chad Steele is outside sabotaging your line, bro. One more question. Two more. That's what he's doing. Two more comments.
He said too much.
Yeah, he said too much. Said too much. All right. Let's stop making fun of the Ravens, man. Let's stop making fun. All right. So the injury report. This is advantage Ravens on this. The biggest news of the week is Justice Hill started out fine, full practice, and then hurt himself on Monday and is out with a neck injury. Taven Bryan also out, but Bateman will play. Hamilton will play. Lamar will play, and Travis Jones will play. And hey, Lil Keon's back, man. Lil Keon's back. Talk about the punt coverage team. Keon tears it up on punt coverage. So the Ravens are, we're missing Justice Hill, but other than that, pretty darn healthy. For the Bengals, the biggest one obviously is T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson. So biggest two. Their best player on defense, one of their best players on offense are both out. Their third down back or backup back, I should say, third running back, Taj Brooks, Texas Tech, was it? Alec, put him on my board. He was broke NCAA records.
Yeah.
He is out. Jermaine Burton, third round pick with first round talent, hasn't been able to break through. He is out. And you see T. Higgins, Cam Sample, they're not real deep on the edge. So Cam Sample is questionable with oblique. That's no fun to try to play through either. Your old side being pulled, bro. So the Bengals are beat up. Now, I don't think we need too much commentary on this. I think I'm just going to skip ahead to the box score if that's all right.
That's fine. I'll just say this too, man. Jermaine Burton, he was a healthy scratch the week before. So, I mean, he's kind of been out of their plans anyways. It's kind of crazy.
That's Big Bad Chad to you, Alex. Big Bad Chad. That's what I like to call him. Yeah. Hey, Chad is so big and bad. He got the Super Bowl gig that one year, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. He got the call to the big stage, man. He was escorting people to the Lombardi Trophy, stuff like that, man. So Chad's no joke. Yeah. So the box score. So this one, again, there's not much to go off of the Bengals side, Alec, because Joe Burrow hasn't played since week 2. Played week 1, they won. Got injured week 2. So Joe Burrow, only 36 pass attempts on the year. Not much to take from his numbers. The person to mention here is Chase Brown. Just some stats for you, Alec. I'm going to kick it to you on this. Their running back, Chase Brown, his first 6 games, he had 202 rushing yards. Okay, 202 through 6 games. Last 5, more than doubled. 424 rush yards in his last 5. After, like I said, just over 200 in his first 6. And 5 consecutive games for Chase Brown with over 100 yards from scrimmage. So their offense with Joe Flacco had been running through Chase Brown. And you can see Brown is not only their leading rusher, but he is their third leading receiver. In this game, he might be their second leading receiver. A dangerous back out of the backfield too. So Chase Brown, man, started really slow, but as you can tell from the stats, has heated up.
He has gotten a lot of checkdowns and things of that nature. Big funnel of the offense. He was a guy we liked coming out of the draft. I recall that, and I think he's the real deal. He's a kind of rusher that actually kind of concerns me from a Ravens perspective, just because of his ability to catch the ball and do things. Has good wiggle, good vision. He's not the most athletic back in the world, but I just think he's a good, honest running back. And I think he could cause some issues if he gets the opportunity to.
Good, honest running back is a good way to say it for Chase Brown. I mean, he's just solid pass pro, solid catching the ball, solid running, breaks some tackles with power. He's not a real fast guy, just solid all the way around. So yeah, I like that. And question here from Mr. Zaratniak, who may or may not be preparing Thanksgiving dinner or having Friendsgiving. You might be having the Friendsgiving, bro. We didn't even mention that possibility. He could be drinking.
Lots of
With
options.
Taven Bryan going to IR, do we think Peebles gets active tomorrow?
Yeah.
Jason, I would think so, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just so down on the active decisions that that I can't say yes with confidence, but I would think so.
I feel pretty confident. They do the call-ups yet? Practice squad call-ups?
I don't think so, man. I think they're
Yeah.
running late because it's or they get an extra time because it's a Thursday game. I don't know.
It could be the case, but I'm not too concerned about it, frankly. I think with Brian out, they're absolutely going to use Peoples, and I was gonna comment on this show that this is like the perfect game for Peoples to be activated, right? Like the Bengals already have a disposition to pass the ball, particularly now that Burrow's back. They have a disposition to pass the ball, even in like neutral scripts. Like they love to pass the ball, they love to drop back.
You
And
hear that, Ty? He's taking your point, bro. He's taking your point, Ty.
Oh yeah, there you go, Ty. Yeah, he gets it. So like, yeah, exactly. I think this is the perfect kind of game for him to come in there and not have to worry about the run as much and go pass rush, do his thing. And hey, like, it sounds like Taven's going to be out for a couple weeks. It wouldn't shock me if Peoples can claim the role. This is a huge opportunity for him. You know, if he plays well here, and has some juice and things of that nature, I mean, he might hold on to the role, and Brian's going to be the inactive. You know, this is his time to shine. I hope he's able to take, the whatever he's learned over the last couple of weeks and whatever he's been practicing and demonstrate on the field.
And this Cincinnati offensive line hasn't been great either, as we'll see with the stats coming up. So it would be a good opportunity for Mr. Fubb to get in there and make some noise. Yeah, hey, on the Ravens side, Rashad Bateman coming back, only 31 targets on the year. Saw people in the chat calling for a big game for Bateman. That would be really nice to see. And Alec, I almost forgot to mention the last meeting last year, November 7th, in Baltimore, Ravens 35, Bengals 34. Our guy that you mentioned could be coming back, and we could use him. Our Darius Washington defended the 2-point conversion to keep the Ravens ahead 35-34 in the waning seconds of that game. I believe he was defending Gesicki, and Gesicki was calling for a penalty flag that never came. But yeah, old A-Wash, our Darius coming up with that big play. And the defense went storming off the field, celebrating off the field. It was a great moment the last time we played them.
Sure was. Yeah, I think did they start his practice window? I forget, or is he just practicing on the side? I think he's just practicing on the side.
Dude, they are like mentioning our Darius out of the blue. Like somebody asked Harbaugh about Tavius Robinson, and Harbaugh was like, "Oh yeah, Tavius and our Darius should be like yeah."
I'm sure Chad was not happy about this. It was a data breach.
Yeah, Romy is here. Hey, Romy, it's good seeing you. You missed the Chad jokes. So there was some pretty funny. We had some pretty funnies going on here on this Thanksgiving. So that's awesome. Yeah, and that's so funny. That's so funny. Yeah, but yeah, that was a great game. That was a great. Both of them were great games. But see the defense walk it off last year. That was pretty cool.
Man, I'm just looking at these stats, dude, and it's so depressing in a way. Like, Jackson's not having done much with his injuries. Burrow's has basically a game, not even. I know he played 2 games technically, but very putrid numbers. Like Flowers looks good, everyone else is pretty pitiful. It's just like, man, like the offense has not been. It's not been what we were hoping for maybe coming into the year.
So, hey, here's another one for you. Like, if the Ravens come into this game and they put up 41 points, 45 points, how good would that make you feel, Alec? Like, would it be like, oh my goodness, like from a range of, oh my goodness, we're back to this means absolutely zero? Where do you fall in the middle there?
I would say I'm like 80% towards we're so back, because even though this is not a good team, the biggest thing is our execution, right? Like they might give us some layups, but our team needs to learn how to execute. They need to learn how to execute in the red zone. They need to just hit their blocks, make running lanes, just like be on their P's and Q's. And I think that's like transferable. So maybe you score 45 against these guys. That's like what, 14 points over expectation. If you get 31 against a good team, like that's still good. That's still really
Okay.
good. So like I think 45, like 40, 45. Like if there's a four, man,
I
I feel good.
Well, what about a 34?
34, meh. 34, it's like you
All
did
right.
what you
So
were supposed to do.
for you, it's about the actual number. I
Well,
guess I was more talking about
it's not
like,
entirely again about the number, but it's somewhat about the number. Um, I don't know. Game flow's a thing. I guess I reserve my judgment to change my opinion, but I feel like 31 points, I would just feel like they took care of business. I probably wouldn't be like it's hard for me to imagine a game flow where they score 31 points and I'm like, yeah, man, the offense like really executed well today. you know, I guess like I just feel as though this defense, from everything I've seen about them and just like the limited times I've seen them on TV, like you should be able to have explosives. You should be able to score some points, and
yeah.
so I think it would just be it. Look, man, a win's a win. Like they win a game, I'm relatively happy these days. But yeah, I think there's a lot to prove, man. And frankly, though, like we were kind of discussing earlier, next week against the Steelers is where like if they execute well, if they score 30 points against the Steelers. I don't care how the Steelers have been playing this year. I'll be like, damn, that's a good performance by the Ravens. You know what I
Of
mean?
course, of course.
You know?
So I brought this up. I just could not help but this graphic. They need a bigger boat on this graphic, Alec, because of how bad the Bengals have been versus tight ends. I couldn't believe this. So at the bottom, the horizontal is receiving yards allowed to tight ends. The vertical, the left column is receiving touchdowns allowed to tight ends, and you can see most of the NFL, chilling. Bottom left is good, top right is bad, and the Bengals are so top right. It almost looks like Pluto out there. By the way, R.I.P. Pluto, I believe from about 1930 to 2006 ish, was a
Yeah.
good run for Pluto. It was a really
Pluto,
nice run for the planet Pluto.
Pluto
But
had a
yeah,
good run.
they look at that Bengals, how bad they've been against tight end Alec, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and I'll extend it out to anybody who's lining up in the slot. Uh, Big game potential for them.
I mean, it's crazy because they're at 13, bro, in the touchdown column, and everyone
Yep.
else is at 7, right? Like
Right.
it's absurd, and the yardage, like the whole thing, is just out of control. It's absolutely out of control. Hey, man, wouldn't it be cool if the Titans actually feast, like Ashley's mentioning? The Titans have been really underwhelming this year. Like, I don't think what we're seeing out of Mark Andrews is like particularly surprising, given the fact that we felt he's like maybe on the back nine of his career. He's had a little bit of the struggles, the injuries, things of that nature. But like the likely stuff, even with the injury, man, I'm a little surprised by how cold he's been all year long. Like it's like
It's time for him to get right. I don't feel like he's all the way back.
no,
I
he,
finally
he almost can't be. Like it's so surreal how little like life he's had and how little juice. It's just you just expect so much more out of Likely out of the last couple of years than what we've seen out of him. Like, there's no reason to believe that it's all just poof so fast. So it has to be injury, right?
Yeah, and I will say though that this week against the Jets was the first time I saw Pat Ricard move like Pat Ricard. I'm not just
Yeah.
talking about results based, but Pat had a little bit more burst that you're used to seeing. He looked like Pat, and when he drove, the power was there. So that'll help too, pass protection, run blocking too. But maybe Likely's just he needs a couple of more weeks. But I we could really really use him. So Ashley, this one is for you because early in the season we had so much red on this Ravens defensive side that it was just uncharacteristic. Your buddy over here was not happy, ranting every week. Well, we have a new record, new world record. All red, all red on the Bengals side. Now, the Bengals defense is allowing 32.7 points per game. The next closest team is more than 4 points away at
Mm.
28.5. So, brother, not only are they allowing the worst 32nd in points, number 31 is over 4 points a game ahead of them. Not 4 points total, 4 points for every game. Um,
Yeah.
they are allowing 415.8 yards. The next closest team is Washington at 387. So a whole 28 yards a game behind the Commanders. 30 seconds, 30 second, 30 second, 31st, 31st, 29th, 31st, 28th, 24th, 31st. Alec, even a smart man like you would have a hard time adding up all those numbers at once.
The numbers are big. Yeah. I didn't like look at this so closely. I just saw the red and laughed. But now, seeing this 32 points, like, yeah, 31 is unacceptable. That's below the average. Like we need to at least get 35. But yeah, that's just so bad, man. That's just so bad. And they're bad in some weird ways. Like they're not getting QB pressure, obviously, with the sacks, only 15. Takeaways or whatever, they're kind of they come in bunches. I'm not too worried about that one way or the other. But it's a yardage, dude. I mean, shoot, we like Darnell Washington coming out of college, but like he made it look like a video game, with the way he was.
They can't tackle.
Right? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's just I look at that and I look at Henry and I think to myself, man, if you can get this guy like any runway whatsoever, he should just beast mode right through them all.
Hey, my guy Q came in. What's going on, Q? Love you, man. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving to you. It's great seeing you, Q. Great seeing you. I'm glad you guys gave Q a shout out because I didn't see him initially. But yeah, Alec, I bet you people who are watching this saw that Bengals versus Steelers game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because it's on in the Baltimore market and probably up and down the East Coast. But I mean, Jalen Warren's kind of hard to tackle. Darnell Washington's hard to tackle. Metcalf, obviously. The Bengals looked like the JV squad out there trying to tackle these guys. Like they look small. It wasn't competitive. The Steelers were doing whatever they wanted to the Bengals. And, apparently they had a better game last week against New England. Geno Stone had a pick six for them. And they held the Patriots down a little bit. But, I mean, with the players that we have, especially Derrick Henry, Keaton Mitchell, if we can get Likely back anywhere, Zay Flowers, these can be hard guys to tackle when they're on, especially, you wear them down and give it to the king, and nobody's going to want to tackle him. I've seen these guys try to tackle. It's not good.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be, right? With these results, it can't be good.
What's up, Hodari? What do you think about these stats? Pretty insane. And, for the Ravens, the red zone problems. And I saw Chris say something about the offensive line just a little while ago again. I mean, that's where it really shows up. Short yardage, red zone. 30th in red zone now, scoring only 46.3% of the time. And we scored 2 touchdowns with Derrick Henry inside the red zone last week. So, despite that, we're still sitting at 30th. Our rush yards, our yards per carry, it's been going down a little bit, but the way we're hitting our big runs, Alec, is with deception. We are deceiving the other team. We're outnumbering them, hitting a quick wham play, nice little trap block, or doing the old-fashioned pitch or misdirection, just basically finding ways to outnumber the opponent, Lamar getting us into the right play. And that's where we're getting the big plays. Remember Justice Hill's long run early in the season and a couple of Henry's long runs have been on quick hitters. But when it comes to just, hey, we're going to run our staple outside zone, it's like a 2-yard loss or at most a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, man. Sometimes the offensive line lose so quickly and so overwhelmingly. Like it's hard to know even who to blame. Like you need to like the all 22 and like to slow down a bit or like be really like focus. You already know where the play's going and things of that nature to like cue in because it's just like there's some. It's usually not just one guy failing. That's the thing that like kind of crushes me. It's like multiple guys failing, a whole side of the line failing. It's always the side that you're running towards, and it's just like it's just bad. It's just bad. I hope that they are able to figure it out and pull it together. I mean, it's the same guys. You think to yourself like they should be able to be better than this, but I guess we'll see.
So
I'm looking
see if
at
we can up these numbers, Alec. Up these numbers this week.
Yeah, man, you gotta get some stat padding. Come on, like what else is Thanksgiving for? We're gonna pad your belly. You got to pad your stats. So that's the way it works, and I hope so. And that's the other thing I was thinking about too, Jason. We were talking about energy. Everyone had their turkey earlier in the day. Might be a little drowsy. Wish they took a nap. We're gonna need the energy. We're gonna need Lamar Jackson to wake us up. 8:20. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a long night with that turkey, that overeating, and things of that nature. We need the off. It's for the good of the country that the offense puts up some points.
Hey, Lady Laura's in here. O'Derry's in here. Good seeing you guys. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. It's wonderful seeing you. And like to your point, like Ashley was saying earlier, Alec, how about a stop and a score, and
Stop and score.
put the Bengals back out on offense and watch this crowd go wild. Still giving up a little too many sacks here at 31. Um, Jets weren't
Yeah.
able to get a ton of pressure, but it's not very good pass blocking line either. So let's look at the matchups here. Bateman back in effect. Got him on this on the sheet here. The two Bengals. I'm gonna start with the Bengals on this that I have highlighted. One for good reasons and one for the opposite. DJ Turner, their corner, excellent player, having an excellent season. He's their best player on defense. I imagine he'll be traveling with Zay Flowers. Um, if he is, then that'll open things up from other guys. Obviously, from the Bengals stats, Turner can't make a difference by himself. It's still historically bad defense. Demetrius Knight and Barrett Carter are both rookies, and that's where you're getting a lot of space for your tight ends, Alec. So there's miscommunications there. It's your typical growing pains for young linebackers learning how to play in coverage. So Demetrius Knight, player who I like, Barrett Carter, didn't like him as much, but they're struggling big time in coverage. So DJ Turner out of Michigan, first round pick, excellent player, having a great year. Knight, Carter, the linebackers really struggling in coverage to go along with Jordan Battle. And we know Geno doesn't match up great over the middle and tight quarters. Geno is your prototypical free safety. Not a lot of good tackling out there, not a lot of good coverage over the middle.
Dude, DJ Turner was your 24th guy on your board that year.
No, good call, huh?
Yeah, good call. I remember liking him. I remember us talking about him and things of that nature. So I pulled up your old board, and yeah, 24. You know, speaking of kind of the draft and stuff, you look at them at 3-8. Like, man, wouldn't you want to lose a game if you're the Bengals? Like, come on, man. Like, you have a good team. You have a good quarterback. You have some of the things that are hard to find in the NFL, right? Now you just need to start putting together a defense.
Not only do they not want to give us this game, Alec, we're going to rush our quarterback back 3 weeks ahead of time.
I know.
Not only don't we want the draft pick, we want to put Joe Burrow at risk and not protect him for himself. Respect to Joe Burrow, though. I get it.
No, the guy's a ball. Like the guy's a gamer.
Can't keep me off the. Couldn't keep me off the field either.
No.
That's
Yeah, he's. He was one of the people that they followed in the quarterback series on Netflix, and like you could just tell the guy's like a little bit of a psycho, and like he just like loves playing this game, and he wants to be out there. You kind of have to be to play at that level and at a high level and things of that nature. So it's not surprising, but he wants to be out there. Like he doesn't care the record. He thinks to himself, I don't remember if they won or lost that first game. They probably lost it, knowing them. Maybe they won. I'm 1-0 or I'm 0-1. You know what I mean? Like his record is not that much, right? There's not much to talk about. So yeah, rushing back, but like going back to this defense, I'm a little surprised. Like I haven't watched enough of their film that you think that the Turner will follow Flowers.
It's hard to say. Okay. If I was them, I would.
Sure.
Turner's been on that side. They had Cam Taylor-Britt, of course.
Yeah.
They've gone through their injuries over on that side. So it's just not much. Jeremiah's, they're going to block that front all night. Yeah, I think so too, Jeremiah. Now, like Joseph Osai plays light. You run to his side, and that kind of negates what Roger's been struggling with, which is knockback power, Alec. Like Roger can stonewall Osai some. And he hasn't been able to do that to the bigger defensive ends. BJ Hill worries me a little bit. Chris Jenkins worries me a little bit just because of where he's in Faalele. Miles Murphy, a very linear, raw rusher. Again, they're down Trey Hendrickson in this game. Cam Sample might not be able to play. So you can wear these guys out too, Alec. Like wear them out. Like ball control. If they're having trouble tackling and we're getting moving the chains all night, those edge rushers and those big guys are going to wear down. Are you with Jeremiah on this, or you have any trepidation?
I mean, no, I think I'm with Jeremiah on this. Yeah, I
That's
was.
all you have to say.
Look, man, I was over here looking at Knight. I was trying to remember the Knight because I couldn't remember much about Knight, so I was looking up Knight in your scouting. 6-year player. And you said he knows he's a bass mofo in the field. Does he still think that? That's a big question. Now that he's welcome
Oh,
to the
you're
NFL
looking at my
moment.
scouting report. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
No, like
he
because
does.
I
He
because I
does.
couldn't remember anything about Knight, and they spent a second round pick on him, and like rating what you had on him, it feels like the kind of player that you would want to start setting a standard, so to speak, for the defense. But I'm not sure how he's performing so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a heavy-footed guy. He does have play with attitude. He's a good run defender. I just think he's probably undisciplined, and the guys up front aren't helping him. I mean, BJ Hill is undersized guy, so um, it's kind of like it is what it is at that point. But yeah, he can be exposed in coverage, and that's part of the reason we saw those tight end numbers that we did. Also, I believe Davis is now on IR, so they're even shorter in the backfield, man. DJ Ivy might be playing nickelback for him. So it's changing as we go here. But yeah, the Ravens should put up big points just to peak once again. This is the kind of stats that we're looking at from this Bengals defense. And New Money Jew, hey, if you have another screen name that I don't recognize, I apologize, but what is good? What is good, man? Thank you for joining. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy holidays and everything.
Yeah, I just looked
That's
up.
ISO? Okay. ISO, what's up, man?
Nice. Yeah, I was also just looking up that line too, man. They're just light. You think about
Yeah.
Falele and Voorhees, and for all the crap we've been giving them during this stream, they're like 340, 370 each, and they're blocking guys that are 60 pounds or lighter. Come on now. Like, if you can't win those matchups, I don't know what to tell you. Like that should just be like a physics kind of thing at that point. So yeah, I think they should be able to move them. I think they should be able to do well in even in pass pro as well. And I think that if they can win in the trenches, and I think that they have the makings to do it, that's going to be what opens everything up. We know how important the trenches are. This is a like a high IQ stream. You know what I mean? Like the trenches are super important to dictating what your skill players are able to do on offense. So I think they'll be able to win there, and then they'll open everything up.
Yeah, I mean, it plays into the Ravens' hand with the offensive line being the weakest spot on the team.
For sure.
So this is a team that cannot expose that. When we play in Pittsburgh next week, it's going to be a different story. Much tougher matchup when you go up against those guys if they're healthy. All right, so let's kick it over to this improving Baltimore defense. Hey, man, yards per pass allowed, top 10. Who would have thunk it, Alec? Only allowing 6.8 yards per pass. A lot of short stuff being completed on us, and not a lot of long stuff. Shout out Malachi Starks once again. The sacks don't look great, but they've come up a lot. I mean, we were really, really down, up to 18 sacks, all the way up to 13 takeaways, which is now in a tie for 12th in the league. Good job there. Red zone and third down defense, pretty good. We fell out of the top 10 in third down defense, but still that was a lot of garbage time. Tyrod moving the ball on us. 19th in scoring, yards allowed, 24th. So it's really hard to focus on this Bengals offense. Like, I can't take away anything from the Bengals side of the field, Alec, because Joe Burrow ain't been there. These are Joe Flacco numbers, Jake Browning numbers. So focusing on the Ravens defense, anything stick out to you?
Yeah, man. I mean, you think about how this defense has transformed over the last few weeks. There's always like a trailing indicator in the national media, right? I think they're just starting to wise up to the fact that defense might be a little bit better, like than they were earlier in the year, and like that a lot of these like early performances were kind of outliers to what you might come to expect now. But what I do look at, and it's kind of impressive, given how the earlier part of the season went, and everything, is that pass allowed number, that ninth number. Because I bet you, if you were split it over the last 5 weeks, it's even more impressive. And
Right.
that's hard to say when you're already ninth. So that's huge, right? Because everyone wants to pass the ball. If you're behind, you're passing the ball. And what I've noticed about this team is their ability to get off the field. You know, they're stopping guys short of the sticks, forcing a third down, right? And then they get the incompletion or whatever, and then they're off the field. I think the biggest thing I've noticed is that on second and whatever, you're not getting whatever. Like they've been forcing a lot of teams to third down, and I think that's a huge part of their success. And I don't know what to even credit, frankly. Like, I think that it's been good coverage. They've been forcing checks downs. They're not pushing the ball. Defenses are not pushing the ball. But that's been the biggest thing I've noticed is like it's been really hard for defenses to get or offenses to get the yardage, the pure stretch on the field, and they're having to depend on Yak to get there.
And I wish my guy Dario was in here because he was the one that would bring me the stats every week while I was complaining about how many snaps we were playing on defense, Alec.
Mm-hmm.
And like we couldn't get off the field early in the year. We could not get off the field.
No.
They were just grinding out the chains. That's part of the reason why the yards per pass is low. It was just a lot of short stuff, a lot of run conversions, things like that. Now, all of a sudden, you look at how good we've been. I think the Browns were 2 of 14 on third down or something ridiculous. Like, we've been so good on third down and getting these fools off the field. They were all the way up to 12. Like, what a turnaround from earlier in the year where we could not get people off the field to now we're getting them off the field. It's just a huge turnaround. And I think a lot of that has to do with Kyle Hamilton, really. I mean, it's just he is shooting off the edge on some of these plays and chasing these run plays down before they get started. Now, all of a sudden, they have to assign a blocker to Kyle. Now, all of a sudden, our nose tackles, I mean, like it's just a down, stuff flows downhill type thing.
I mean, who could have possibly told you they needed 3 safeties in the offseason? Like, I mean,
just everybody, right?
Did anyone think that was a need? That's crazy. Yeah, Hamilton's been awesome down there. That's a good call out too. It's pretty obvious. We kind of forget how quickly we forget that he wasn't doing this all year long because, we organizationally did not prioritize unlocking our best defensive player. But yeah, so we're there now, and we're seeing the benefits. And man, never a doubt, right? Like the guy, he's good for like 1.5 injuries a game, right? Where he's like doesn't come off, he's hurt, he's down the field, but he went into like his alien goo, and now his ankle's fine, and he's gonna be out there. It's like, oh man, the guy is just he's really a freak. It's incredible.
See, Alec has a couple of beers. He's talking about alien goo over here. Somebody stop this man.
He's so long. He he's just not normal dimensions, man. Like
chill out, bro.
The guy, long arms
with goo. All right, we're out of here. Let's flip it over. Here we go. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Whoa, Jamar Chase.
You talking about obviously. Me?
I'm allowed to, bro. I'm allowed to. That's
it's my show.
That's an old school song. That's a great song from the 80s, 90s. Belle Biv DeVoe. Now you know. Jamar Chase, we got to tackle him. We got to tackle him, man. Like it's one thing about like getting open, but yeah, we talked about Chase Brown. He's kind of a tough tackle. I'm looking at elsewhere like Gesicki, easy to tackle. Yosevas got that track speed, but he's a linear guy. It's all about tackling Jamar Chase, and that's where we need the alien Kyle Hamilton to come up big. But then again, if he is by the line where he is there now, that puts a lot of stress on somebody who has not tackled well for us, Alec. He also highlighted Alohi Gilman.
Yeah, we've heard that tackling is important. And against a guy like Chase, it's really, really important because he's so fast, he's so big. The second he gets going, it's even harder to bring him down, So I think it's really important that we wrap up and we slow him down and we get him down. It's going to be, I think if it's on a point of emphasis, I don't know what they're doing. But obviously, I think they'll be really aware of their need to, like, get the tackle. I think what's going to end up happening, and, it's good that Wiggins is there, is I think they're going to tell them to play a little bit more passive to make sure they can tackle him. You know what I mean? Like
I
I
don't know
hope,
about that.
like I hope, I guess like I think that's you're playing with fire there, but I guess like what I'm getting at is maybe like the second guy, right? If you have two guys there, the second guy needs to be more passive. Like maybe instead of trying to get like an interception on that play, like make sure that you're available to get that tackle. Um,
Yeah,
so
okay, I got you on that.
yeah,
You're not being too aggressive with your angles is what you're getting at. But yeah, you got to force the action and get him to just like you got to be in his face as quickly as possible. That first guy.
oh
So
yeah, sure.
Ashley's bringing me to a discussion point. What to do with Chase? Last game, we played them. Wiggins was actually the most effective corner on Chase. But like I look at a strong receiver like Chase, and I think of Marlon Humphrey's big interception against him in that first game we played him last year. Something tells me maybe Marlon's a better matchup. Do they just play their normal sides and play their normal assignments? Ashley suggested more Cheeto in this game. If we did that, Ashley, we could put Hamilton in Gilman's spot and have Hamilton just bracket Chase all game. Follow him like that. Like there are a million ways to slice it. But yeah, what do you do with Jamar Chase in this game? I guess you're just double teaming him, bracketing him the entire game.
Yeah, I would say so. Like if I were the Ravens, man, I would say Yosevas, Sample, Gasecki, Brown. You know, beat us. I dare you. Like I just would not let Chase be the one to beat you. Like I think that's the biggest thing. You know, I completely agree with this. Like there's just no planet where I would like play fast and loose with Jamar Chase. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would,
yeah. Cheeto does know him. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for Chase. I don't know. I've seen that work both ways. I think Chase
yeah.
has got the confidence and knows what Cheeto knows too. So it's kind of tough to say, but yeah, I mean that's pretty much the game in a nutshell. Is
I will
how
go
much
back
is
to
he going to
you.
hurt us? Go ahead,
Yeah,
man.
I'll go back to you though. You know, Wiggins has been known this year to ask the coaching staff to follow. I'm sure he's asked, but I'm not sure he's going to get his wish granted. And I think that kind of goes back to what you were saying about Humphrey and his ability to get that big pick that one time. You know, I don't love the idea of Chase versus Humphrey in 2025 as it currently is stated. Like I kind of think I'd prefer Wiggins, but I'm gonna guess that the Ravens are going to trust to stay in their normal alignment and not do the follow game. But I'll be, keeping an eye out for that for sure because um, it is really the name of the game. Like in most weeks they talk about, the Ravens are like, first we got to stop the run. And I think in this game, first you got to stop Jamar Chase. You know what I mean? Like that should be priority number one.
I mean, he is like an extension of the run game. You see how much they
Mm-hmm.
targeted that man, even with Burrow, and I mean with Burrow out.
Yeah.
We think we target Zay a lot. Zay's got 77 targets. Chase already 117 targets on the year. So and there is yards per target are down. Does that mean that he's bad deep? No, it means they're using him on a lot of short stuff, extension of the running game type thing. Look at Henry's carries compared to Chase Brown. So they're going to find a way to get the ball in Jamar Chase's hand any way they possibly can, Alec.
Dude, the volume, like if you go back real quick,
Yep.
like isn't that crazy? Just like look at the volume of snaps, right? Like because each target's a snap. You look at it, man, it's crazy. Like how are they passing that much, and they have like relatively comparable running numbers. Like it's crazy the amount that they have a lot of snaps.
They do. They do. And we struggled to stay on the field a little bit. We were a big
Yeah,
play offense,
yeah, yeah. It's
It kind of
crazy.
works both ways. Yeah. Big play or a 3-and-out was like the Ravens mantra for a long time. Um, an matchup I'm excited for. Really, there are a bunch of them along this offensive line for the Bengals. I think Draymond Jones is going to have a nice game here against Armarius Mims, a younger player, a big player, but still like his anchor, I think, is a weakness of Armarius Mims. He still gets caught in between sometimes. That sets up well for the power rusher and Draymond Jones. Fascinated with the Mike Green versus Orlando Brown Jr. Talk about two opposite styles. Big Zeus, all his length, technical experience against Green, the bullet off the edge with this inside spin move in the bag that Wiz was talking about earlier. And then Dylan Fairchild, kind of a undersized rookie,
Yeah.
not necessarily in the measurements, but his play style reminded me a little bit of like a Ben Bredesen type player, where yeah, maybe he'd be a good center. He's always in good position, but he's going to get mauled by these big guys. And of course, in this game, Alec, he's going up against Travis Jones, John Jenkins. So I expect big push. Their center, Ted Karras, we've pushed him around in the past. Dylan Fairchild about to get pushed around in this game too. So yeah, offensive line versus Ravens front.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Fairchild as well. I remember thinking highly of him in the draft process and kind of thinking that maybe he'd be a good target for the Ravens. We talked plenty about Mims coming out of school, and then of course we know all about Orlando. And then if I recall correctly, Garris was there last year at least, and Risner, I don't remember his
Yeah,
stats.
Reisner was a tackle convert.
Okay.
Yeah, he could have been a target of ours, and it would have been probably a good move. Dalton Reisner. So yeah, but yeah, veteran, steady right tackle, right guard, but nothing special there. It's Karras and Fairchild. Fairchild is a rookie and not the
Mhm.
strongest player. Those are the guys that can get pushed around, and then the edge players or the tackles rather. You understand their games.
Yeah, for sure. And I Travis Jones has really turned it on last few weeks. I'd hope that he's able to continue that against a rookie competition, and it'd be great, get that interior rush. I kind of do trust Green and Draymond to figure it out against Brown and Mims. I think Burrow's going to be under siege, and good luck to his foot.
So we mentioned Jamar Chase, and then earlier in the show, we were talking about the professional running back, Chase Brown.
Yeah,
That's the best way to explain.
lunch
What
pail.
did you say? Lunch pail type guy.
Yeah.
So Chase Brown, what was it? How many straight games? 5 consecutive games with more than 100 total yards, 424 rushing yards in his last 5. The Bengals could not run the ball their first 6 games. Their last 5, their run offense has come alive. So Jamar Chase 1, Jamar Chase 2, Jamar Chase 3, Jamar Chase 4. Somewhere down the list is Chase Brown.
Oh, it's like you're saying from a priority perspective.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean
Yosefus is going to get a couple. Gesicki's going to get a couple.
you stop the
By the,
chases and you're good.
by the
like,
way, the Bengals, I have their 12 personnel up here, so 2 tight ends.
mhm.
With Higgins being out is the big miss, and they're missing him. The Bengals used to run a lot of 11, and they were like them and the Rams were the most heaviest 3 receiver teams in the league. When Tyler Boyd was there for the Bengals, it was Chase Higgins Boyd on the field every snap with the tight end. But with T Higgins out, Drew Sample, their blocking tight end, Mike Gesicki, their receiving tight end, and then when they get down in the red zone, Alec, I don't know if you noticed, but Noah Fant does not play as many snaps as the other guy, but he's as the other guys, but 31 receptions on 35 targets for Fant.
Very efficient. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Mm.
Unbelievable. He's been targeted 35 times, caught 31 of them, only 265 yards, but 3 touchdowns. So they will use Fant in the red zone. Tough matchup for the Ravens there.
Do we get an official on P Ryan if he's available this week? I forget.
I think he is, and it's Taj Brooks that's out.
Yeah, I know the Taj was hurt. Yeah, so I know P Ryan was a little questionable, so I guess good for them because otherwise they'd have to go to the scrap heap, practice call up or something crazy. They have no running backs left. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Looking at it too, they don't have a clear third wide receiver. I know they had Tinsley playing a bit there with Byrne out with his shenanigans and also now his injury. Yeah, I think they are going to lean on a lot more 12.
Yeah, they have all these tight ends, Jay-Z, and that's why I went with 12 personnel here. I think that they're going to try to control the clock, protect Burrow, not expose him to a lot of pass plays, just run Drew Sample out there and keep it tight end heavy. So that's kind of what I expect. Got my eye on Alohi Gilman this game, though, Alec. He's been wonderful for us, but tackling is the key to the game, and Alohi's got to tackle.
He does. I hope he'll clean that up. Just hoping. I think. Yeah. Let's call it. He was getting used to a new scheme. Let's just call
All
it
right.
that. I don't know if I believe that. I'm just saying, let's call it that.
I almost took you off the screen for that. Chad,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened?
I like, he's done with me.
All right. So,
Chad.
Chad, all right, guys, you know what time it is. It seems like some of you are a little bit behind on the show. So I'll pause for a second, but it's score prediction time, Alec. Now, last week,
Mm.
our friend Dario was the winner. Dario predicted 28-10. Of course, the score was 23-10. So Dario within a few points. Our guy Ty, the birthday guy, was a little bit further away, and Ioris Taurus was all a little bit further away. So we were pretty good with the score predictions last week. The Bengals, or excuse me, the Ravens are 7-point favorites at home against the Bengals. The over under for this game is 51.5. So by my Dundalk High School and University of Maryland College Park education tells me that adds up to a 29-22 score about skis in favor of the Ravens. So, Alec, would you like me to go first while you think of yours?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so my score prediction. I think the Ravens get to 34. And I think the Bengals do a little bit more damage than other teams have in a shootout capacity. Big game for Joe Burrow, even without Higgins. I think that they good. You saw how good the Bengals were in the red zone, even with the backup quarterbacks. I'm going to bring that up again. With Joe Burrow with Joe Flacco and what's his face, Jake Browning. They're still 13th in the red zone, or 13th on third down, 10th in the red zone, Alec. So Zach Taylor, good offensive mind there, can scheme it up when he gets in the red zone. So yeah, I think the Bengals will give us some normal problems, just not as much. I'm going Ravens 34, Bengals 24, and my bold prediction, it was the same almost as the Rotniaks. I saw a Rotniak 75 total yards and a touchdown for Keaton Mitchell. And I started Zaratniak's comment up there. I wonder if I can find it. But yeah, 34-24. And there's Zaratniak comment. 5 carries, 1 or 2 receptions, 79 total yards and a touchdown. So me and Zaratniak, the same bold prediction. A double bold, if you will.
Double bold. Yeah, I haven't run the numbers yet, but I imagine that'd be a yummy parlay. That those yardages on Keenan and a touchdown, like I might pull that up and I'll let you guys know. We'll call it the parlay pick of Huddle It Up Films over here. But
yeah, don't do that. I'm not trying to lose anybody money.
Yeah. Think about what you could gain. No. For me, we're kind of talking about this game. I'm gonna say they don't quite make it to 40. Boo-hoo. But they'll get to 38. And I think the defense will continue the tradition of keeping teams under 20 and limit the Bengals to 17. Get that over, make them
38-17.
Yeah.
All right, I'm writing Alec down, bro. Writing Alec down. Bold prediction? Come on, give me some. Give me
I
some.
I don't want to do the Keen thing, so I'm going to say that Mike Green gets 2.
A 2-pack, a sack
2-pack.
for Mike Green.
Yeah, duo.
And here's a fun fact, Alec. I knew I liked something about her. I knew there was something I liked about her. Ashley lived in Dundalk for a bit. Wonder what part of Dundalk Ashley lived in. Where was Ashley? So I live in a place called Water's Edge now, Ashley. That's my neighborhood. I grew up across the street from Dundalk High School. So yeah, Dundalk boy here. College Park made. What is it? Safe to say, Huddle It Up, know him something. Only one around my way that made it. Okay.
Folks, I got to bring this up. All right, I made the parlay for us. So, Keaton Mitchell, anytime touchdown is plus 380. 70 yards plus is plus 1,500. And you parlay them together, you get 2,900, which feels low for what it's worth. It feels like the book's taking a little bit there. Obviously, there's some correlation. But yeah, anyways, very impressive, Put $1 on it, come back. What is that, 290 if you put $1 on it? Like, is that my math? No, 29, obviously. Duh.
Okay. There he goes, Zaratniak. We got a 29-1 shot of that happening. All right, let go. Oh, look, Chris. Been a member for 3 months. It'll be a happy Thanksgiving with a win. Chris does not like bold predictions. So this has hit me in the heart. That's what the stream wifey does, Alec. She makes you happy. She keeps you straight, makes you happy. Happy Thanksgiving, Chris. Love you so much. I know you stay away from the prediction machine. So that was just really cool. That was just really cool. And needed to use my free one. Oh, well, okay. All right. You don't have to ruin it, though. You don't have to ruin it. Okay. Ashley was in Turner's. I gotcha. That's real close to where I am in Water's Edge, Ash. So, yeah. A lot of friends in Turner's. You can get lost in Turner's pretty easy, by the way, if you don't know your way out. Okay. Jeremiah W, 41-13. Our guy Grayson, 28-17. Okay. All right, Grayson. The Linda J, 31-17. So her and Grayson are pretty close. Ashley with a 35-21. ISO, good to see you, man. Thanks for sticking around. 38-20 for ISO. TY, look at TY. I feel like he's being sneaky here. I think TY is going with the he's going with the Vegas, bro. TY is going with Vegas, Alec. You're not going out on a limb.
All right. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Is that fair? We're going to take it still? Well, we're taking it. Jay-Z, one hand in the pasta bowl and one hand on the keyboard. 28-23. That's pretty close, too. Higgins, such a threat everywhere, but especially the red zone. He's just as good on an out, a fade, or slant. Yeah, to Higgins, what do you have? 7 touchdowns or something like that already. Yeah. He has been their red zone threat. Okay. Justin coming in 35-20. And Ashley, you were there for a bit. You said you lived there for a little while. Nah, you were all the way. I probably delivered Ashley's mail. George was your mailman back then. I know George. George is a good guy. Okay. All right. And Chris loves me too. Justin loves me. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hey, I'm sorry I don't recognize your name. They got these ats up here now, man. 31-17 Ravens. Talal Zal.
Classic Alec. Name. Yeah, that feels right. And that's a classic score prediction. I did that one too many times probably on One Winning Pod. That was like my favorite combo.
31-17?
31-17. I love that one. You know, you're probably covering the spread. Nice 2-touchdown victory.
You got some good football numbers in there.
They got some good football numbers.
Yeah, I like when it was my guy John Parsons rep to 12 a couple of weeks ago, bro. He was giving them 4 field goals. I love that. And Alex coming in 31-30. Zal with the King Henry 200 plus. Oh man. And Emory Jones' first game. Alec, I'm hoping Zal is the winner on this right now.
Hey,
I think Chris is with me too. If so, we're rooting for Zal to win this, bro. Emory Jones playing well, paving the way for Henry for 200.
Yeah, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? I think we're all in agreement. Let's get this guy, Chad. Get this guy,
Chad. Chad, watch out. 2 more. Chad Steele. Talal is from Kuwait, live in Egypt, all love. That is awesome, bro. Egypt. The top of Africa, right? Top of Africa, top. Where's Egypt? Is that west? That's West Africa, right? Look, you're going to look it up. Bro,
no.
What's wrong with you guys?
Or is it
like central
west.
or east? Is it east? It's top. It's north.
Well, yeah, it's towards the north. Like it's like isn't it like relatively like nearish to Turkey? If I'm not going crazy, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's awesome. From Kuwait to Egypt. That is the man blessing. Bless you, man. Thank you. All love to you too, Tala. That's beautiful, man. That makes me so happy. I hope you can catch another live soon. I mean, shoot, I don't even know the time zone. It might be like 3 a.m. over there, Zal. So props to you, man. Props to you. And yes, denial is a river in Egypt, Alec. Or is that the Nile?
Classic.
Jeremiah, yeah, loves that joke. Okay. So, Alec, any final thoughts, man? We went over a lot. I think the Ravens come out hot in this game. I think we put up some pressure on them. And I think the Bengals show some fight. They're going to be inspired with Joe Burrow back. We're going to want to hit this quarterback. in the end, I think the Ravens are just too much for them at home.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, respect. Imagine waking up and listening to Jason like at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, it's 10:30 Eastern, 5:30 Egyptian time.
That's right. But hey, I think there's a lot stacked against the Bengals this game. Travel, short week, injuries. I think it's just tough. It's tough to overcome. The Ravens are poised. They need this game more than they do, frankly. The Ravens need this win. It's best for probably both teams if they're being honest with themselves. If the Ravens win and the Bengals lose, so who knows if there might be some business decisions made later in the game. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say is that the Ravens have no reason to lose this game, right? Like they need to go win.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
I don't know any. I did just start Duolingo. I'm trying to get my Greek to be better. I'm trying to be better than just knowing the cuss words,
Yeah. I mean, your name is alone tells me you're Greek, but there's nothing inventive about you, like democracy and all that other stuff. You guys,
the yogurt, the salad,
astronomy, the yogurt, the salad, yeah. But Rome, I think Sprechen Sie Deutsch means do you speak Dutch? German. Do you speak German?
Okay. Maybe it means do you speak German in German?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Do you speak German in German? That's what I meant to say. Not the Deutsch threw me out.
Sure.
Threw me off. Yeah. Hey, Be More Raven 826-24-6 Ravens. Good to see you, man. Hope you check back in next week for Steelers week 2. We're going to be going over a lot of matchups here. How to tackle these guys next week. Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Darnell Washington, DK Metcalf. We're going to have to tackle because, Mr. Rodgers does not like to go deep anymore. It's going to be a lot of short stuff, and they're going to try to pull out their Tomlin magic on us next week. So hopefully Be More Raven, you come back next week, man. It's great to see you in here. And we have one last bold prediction from Egypt, D-Hop, 1,000th touchdown catch for D-Hop. Yeah. He's going to get it on this one.
I was looking it up just now. They don't even have odds on him catching a reception because I was like, surely it's going to happen, right? I think they're going to force feed that one, prime time, Thanksgiving, whatever. They're going to make sure that happens. Similarly, Mark Andrews for 3. He needs 3, right, to get the reception total for him. That's at minus 391. So the odds book, the books are saying like we're going to force feed these milestone receptions.
There you go. So there he goes. Even the sports book here is thinking they're going to try to get him that record on Thursday night. Thursday night. That's a good ad. All right, so I got one right. Das Vidania is Russian. Sprechen Sie Deutsch is German. So Sprechen Sie Deutsch, Romy Raven, and I know you do Sprechen Sie Deutsch because that means do you speak it? Okay, Alec. With that, I want to say thank you, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man. Thankful for you.
Thankful for you. Alec has baby Kay, as I like to refer to her, little sicky poo. She's sleeping right now, stayed sick. But Alec battling some nastiness over there with the baby girl.
Oh, man. All the illnesses recently. Yeah. I think she's going to be okay. I don't know. She just was a little fussy at the end of the night, and it felt like a little heat box. So hopefully it's nothing to worry about, and Thanksgiving will be good tomorrow and all that good stuff. But who knows, man? She's gone through the ringer the last couple of weeks. She's had a lot of illness. So, it's that time of year.
It is. Hey, love you guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you to my football family. Love my football family. If you're catching this on the replay, I know it's only less than 48 hours or 24 hours away. Thank you so much for watching and checking in. But we will see you next week, next Wednesday at 9. Talk about this Steelers matchup. No matter what happens to tomorrow night, Alec, that'll be for first place in the division because they'll only be one game apart at the most either way and playing each other for the first time. So, yes. So thanks so much, Alec. Please say goodnight to the people.
Good night.